We're back! Hello! Welcome on in. Do I need to turn the camera back on? I think I do. Yep, there we go. Aha! The mattress is still here. Of course it is. Right, Elden Ring. Let's get back to it. We are so back. Obu, thank you for the 37 months. Welcome back. So, we are continuing Axe of Godfrey, or Godrick. We have done a little bit more leveling up off camera. I'm level 125 now. Figured we'd get an easy shot at Morgott this way and not have to do too much leveling between... Or do the leveling between streams instead of doing the leveling on streams. We're just going to go straight at Morgott at this point. We're coming at the king, and we best not miss. So, first, obviously, we have to get past this guy. I've decided that the R1 on this axe is the best attack it has. It's got a nice R2 as well, but I think the R1 is something I need to use a lot more of, so we're going to be swinging, and we're going to keep swinging. Yes, the R2 and the D2. These are our two attacks. I've also died at some point. I'm not sure if that happened off camera or on camera, but we have Godrick's Great Rune, which feels thematically like we should be using it still. I'm also still using the Radagon Source Seal. I should probably take that off at some stage. And I gave myself a little extra endurance, so I feel like Viridian Amber Medallion might do it at some stage, but I'm going to hit this guy in the back because he deserves it. Butcha! And then charge an R2. Get wrecked. I think it's nice charging R2s when I have the ability to wait for my opponent. Whereas a lot of the time, I don't. I haven't gone and gotten the last two crystal sacred tears from Altus yet. We still need one from here and one from here, I believe. So we'll do that at some stage. In terms of golden seeds, we have two, so we might as well try and fight this gargoyle in order to get the one that's in front of us here. Just to once again see how we do in terms of the R2s. He's just kind of doing his own thing over here, that's fine. Not bad. And I think 3 gets us another flask upgrade, so I'll grab that while I can. Had a small nap, not sure it helped. Oh, I'm sorry, Nix. Oh, this is the lever that opens the door. This is not the grace. Where's the grace? It's up here. Not further down. Yeah, there we go. And we studying in the corner if anyone needs you. All good. Enjoy your lurk. Oh, we need 4. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I went and got the map of Central Liurnia as well. And I think I might have got a golden seed while I was there. But that's the only other thing I've done. Aside from that, it was just leveling up at Mohg's place. Still not sure if I like the shield or not. I find myself in very few situations where actually guarding makes any sense. But I've definitely gotten used to the kind of boss rush way of playing through Elden Ring, and I feel like the shield is only really super useful against like ordinary like guards and stuff. The kind of situations where somebody's just attacking you with a basic sword and you need to block. Which I guess I could do with these guys, but more often than not they are just a one shot, one kill kind of situation, right? So sometimes it's helpful, other times not so much. We're going to get in here and fight Godfrey, whose name I am getting right, despite how many times I get other people's names wrong. Axe versus Axe in the Battle of the Century. I feel like I'm doing so much better at this fight than I was in the randomizer because I had some control over how much I leveled up before this. He dead. Nice. Those runes might get me an extra level. I think we need about 100k to level up these days. Yeah, so I'm going to put that one into Vigor. We've got 54 strength, 52 dex, which with this upgrade and the flask amounts to something like 70 of each, so that's not too bad. Yes, the Buttonite did get melted. Gonna mosey our way up here. The Buttonite is toast. And Morgott shouldn't be too difficult. We could always summon Melina for this fight as well, but I do like fighting him myself these days. That's right, stay on the pillar. We shall rest here, and then we shall head for the arena and do our thing. Right, in we go. Say hi to Morgott, everyone.
Graceless, tarnished. What is thy business with these thrones? Ah, Godrick the Golden. The twin prodigies, Mikola and Malenia. General Radagon. Praetor Rykard. Luna Princess Rani. Willful traitors, all. Thy kind are all of a piece. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition.
You ever just crush a sword in your hands, and it turns into another sword?
Have it writ upon thy meager grave. Felled by King Morgott, last of all kings.
Morgott! Let's go, baby! Ouch. Okay, there's our first heal, I think. Phase 2 coming up. Oh, I got too close to him. The thrones.
The thrones. Stained by my curse. Such I cannot bear. Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
Oh no, he grabbed me. I've immediately used 3 healing flasks. Make that 4. It's my fault. I could have had plus 10 flasks by this point. No way, dude. Morgott is still such a rough fight in general because he's so maneuverable. Like, I just don't know his patterns super well because I normally either steamroll or it takes a couple of tries. Couldn't play with a weapon clipping so much into the shield. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I like the way the shield looks. Let me switch up the shield since we're just wearing it cosmetically. There you go. That's slightly better, right? I like the way the shield looks as well. I feel like this is the alt shield, but because it's Godrick and we had the grafted scion. Hey, man. Roll and poke, like always. Oh no, I walked into the swords. No way. I feel like that's the only time that attack's ever killed me. Will I try to parry the boss? No. I honestly think parrying when your weapon has such a low, like, critical strike, like it's got 100 crit compared to, like, I don't really have any, like, daggers or anything like that, but, like, there are some weapons that have such an absurd level, like the the ornamental straight sword, unupgraded, the one that we got from Grafted Scion, has more crit rating than this. But that's what daggers are for. Like, I think it's worth learning to parry if you're using a weapon that has more crit. We'll go in without the Great Rune this time. I'm just going to waste Rune Arcs if I keep doing this. Excuse me. I also haven't been using my physic, or at least I didn't on the last round. Okay, there we go. Now we get the arena change. Just gonna stand still so we don't get hit by one of those. Yikes. Heal, thank you. Oh, he's got a pixel of health left. He's got his magic pixel. Nope. Okay, good. Yeah, we're doing pretty absurd levels of DPS right now, but the fight is still something I have to execute well. As usual, rune arcs are basically the jinx, right? They're absolutely the jinx. Alright, Melanie's going to give us the rolled medallion. Going to upgrade our runes. Or upgrade our stats
again.
with runes.
Allow me, you are prevented the thorn, a husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then, and guide you. Shall I let my hand share them with me?
We'll have one more into Vigor, I guess. I think Endurance can't hurt as well at this stage, because having more stamina is usually a good thing. Let's walk back to Avenue Balcony and go to Mountaintops. Before we do Mountaintops, I might actually just go and get the other two Sacred Tears, though. That seems like a sensible thing. Where's the best place to get them from? Forest Spanning Great Bridge will get us to the church that's down here. Which I always forget the name of, but it's the one where you fight Eleonora. As usual, this place is a nightmare and I hate it. Inhibition? It might be inhibition. Emboldened by the flame of inhibition. Not this way? That way? Yeah, it's up the slope here. I was misjudging where that was. I so rarely bother going down into this area as well. As a reminder from the last stream, we did get Godrick's axe up to +10, so I'm also working with the highest level of upgrade for this weapon now. Which should, in theory, mean that we don't have too much challenge ahead of us. Let's hop down into this Spirit Spring. There's a Grace nearby. Or we can just warp. Where's the best place to warp to get to here? Probably just leave Lanedale. We can go via that Golden Seed tree to get one more flask as well. Inhibition is Vikes, yeah. Going to give myself a slightly better chance by taking out these trebuchets first. I've been watching some old VODs of Shenpai playing Elden Ring for the first time, and I totally recognize that different people want to play this game different ways, and it's really cool to see somebody interacting with the game when it was just released, whereas I picked up this game like a few months later when a lot of people had kind of figured out a lot of stuff about it. It is always maddening to me when people don't pick up every item that they get dropped by, like, even the most basic enemies, which I think is perfectly sensible considering in Dark Souls your inventory gets so cluttered and there isn't really a great inventory management system, at least not in Dark Souls 1. So people don't want their inventory full of, like, all of the random helmets and tabards and stuff that you get from soldiers, especially if you're not planning on using them. But you also get, like, smithing stone drops from some of the soldiers, and I was honestly kind of distracted by how many items Shen was just leaving on the ground. It's such a great set of VODs, though. Like, she's so funny, and honestly a solid player for the early game of this game. It's also so funny going back and watching somebody play for the first time who has no idea of the way that the plot is going and, like, the balance of this game. Because Shen doesn't level Vigor for, like, the first 20 hours of the game. And also didn't find the Flask of Wondrous Physic for probably, like, 40 hours of gameplay. And I'm like, that's literally the first thing I do in most of these runs. Is level Vigor and get the Physic. So yeah, this one is Stormcaller. That's where we get the Sacred Tear. I think there's like one guy here who will prevent me from looking at the map, so I'm just going to kill him. And then, yeah, we'll walk back to Avenue Balcony, apply both of those to our flasks, and head off to Mountaintops. Once again, I'm going to try and do Fire Giant without summoning Alexander. But we might go back to Mount Gelmir and summon Alexander if Fire Giant seems too difficult. Sorry, one sec. Got a couple of things I need to check here. Played 3 or 4 bosses on like 18 to 22 Vigor when I played, like main story bosses. Yeah, I can't remember where I got to with my character's stats my first playthrough, but I think I ended up with, like, a decent amount in intelligence and dex because I was using Moonveil. I don't remember where my Vigor was at, but it was by no means min-maxed, you know? Whereas these days I feel like the only characters I make are min-maxed. Excuse me. I feel like the axe also sometimes hits before the swing actually lands, which means it attacks faster than you expect it to sometimes. Which feels good. Obviously that doesn't matter much for the AI's response to it, but I feel like you're almost hitting them with the handle before the blade comes down, you know? Alright, you get out of here. You gonna join us on the elevator today? Nope, gonna run around. Bye. The blade is so sharp it extends a foot beyond the visible. It's kind of like Death's Scythe in the Discworld books, where it's like the final step to hone the blade is like a shaft of sunlight or something. Exactly what you're thinking of? I had a feeling. You know they're coming out with a licensed Discworld tabletop RPG? I keep getting ads for it on Instagram now that I'm doing all of this tabletop stuff. I'm kind of tempted by it, to be honest with you. But I don't know that many people local to me now who would be interested in playing, but I'm sure there are plenty. The crossover between Terry Pratchett nerds and D&D nerds is probably a pretty close to a perfect circle on a Venn diagram. Considering that the Color of Magic, when you go back and read it, is basically a send-up of D&D. And fantasy tropes in general, but D&D in particular. It's pretty funny. Willkommen aus Verbotenland. this time around, are we going to fight Blackblade Kindred? I'd say it's a solid maybe. Heard good things about Discworld. Is it worth reading? Is it manageable, or do I have to read like 10 books? Oh, there's like 40 books in the series. And the annoying thing is that Pratchett's writing gets so much more compelling once the world is built up later. And it's less of like a gag book and more of like, oh no, there's actually like continuity and story and stuff going on there. That it actually helps if you read more of them, despite the fact that the first books are not that great. Like, you probably want to start there just so you sort of understand what he's getting at later, and it sets up the world really well, but some of my favorite books in the series are much later in the series. So, unless you want to get really committed, then, I don't know, you might want to give it a miss. And yeah, they do have a bunch of sub-series, so there are some that are specifically about this group of witches, there are some that are about the wizards, there are some that are kind of separate from all of that. There's a few standalone ones. The ones about death are probably some of my favorites. Death as in the Grim Reaper, not just like the concept of death in general. Amazed I dodged through that, but I did. I'd absolutely love to get a crit on this guy, but that's not going to happen. So this thing doesn't do a whole lot of stance damage, but it's got some pretty decent base damage, so I think at this point we're sticking with it. Yeah, Death is one of his best characters. Yeah, I agree. I think, honestly, of all of the Death, like the recurring characters within the Death books, I think Susan is probably my favorite, like, overall. But, yeah, I think Thief of Time and Nightwatch are probably my two favorites. Read them in whatever order the library had them. Yeah, we were talking about this. Me and my partner were talking about it yesterday because when I was playing... Maybe not yesterday, maybe the day before. Because I was playing Eco Mofos with the 8-bit community tabletop group. And I had to, on the fly, come up with the name of a shopping center. And I called it the Sweet Valley Mall. And then I remembered I'd probably pulled that name from... the Sweet Valley High series of books that I think my sister used to read, or maybe watch the TV show or something. And we were talking about that and the types of books that we used to get out of the library. And yeah, when I was younger, a lot of the Discworld books were in the, like, 14+ section of the library, where I was reading them when I was, like, 9. But yeah, I definitely took a bunch of them out of the library. I think between me and the rest of my family, we collectively own most of the mainline Discworld series, though. Like, I have about a third of them, my sister has a third, and my parents have a third. Going Postal or The Truth are good jumping on points for later Discworld? Yeah, those are solid. I think Going Postal first, because The Truth is the same characters, right? Oh no, The Truth is the one that's about the newspaper, and then the characters from that appear in... Yeah. The Truth is a really good one, though. I like it a lot. But, yeah, I can never remember just because I read them from the beginning, so I don't know what it's like jumping into the later books that are set somewhere like Ankh-Morpork, which is where a lot of them are set. And whether or not it feels like you're missing out on a lot of context for what the city is. But he's very good at just, like, giving you a brief summary at the beginning of most of the books where you need one. Yeah, Vetinari is a superb character. Like, all of the Watch books, I think, are really solid. Like, the Wizards ones get, like, a little bit samey, if like, a lot of them are centered around Rincewind, and he has kind of a one-note character for a while. Especially in the early books. And then he doesn't really show up again until Interesting Times. But, yeah, I think the Witches, City Watch, and any of the Death Susan series are basically all worth reading. Monstrous Regiment is a pretty good standalone book. But it helps if you know who, like, Vimes is. The Witches are your favorite. Nanny Ogg is your absolute favorite character. Yeah, Nanny Ogg's great. Yeah, Ginger, I was going to say, I think you can just ban that one. Appreciate it. A reasonable comment. Time to not fight a dragon again. Getting really good at not fighting this guy, actually. Any recommendations for not Grand Crusades level of literally conquest levels of length stories? What kind of stuff do you like reading? I think I need to get rid of this. Yeah, there we go. What was that one called? Stormcaller and... Oh, it's the second... It's one of the Churches of Marika. One of the many Churches of Marika. Fantasy, I guess. It's been a good while since I read any super solid fantasy, especially newer fantasy. I've had a couple of things recommended to me recently that are more sci-fi, so kind of difficult to say. Honestly, even though it's a long book, it is one long book. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is probably one of my favorite books of the last, like, couple of decades. In fact, I think a 20th anniversary cover version of it just came out, which makes me feel old. But, yeah, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is great. If you want something smaller by the same author, honestly, Piranesi is pretty good. Big fan of Jasper Fforde. Jasper Fforde is also great, but also a lot of reading, depending on which series you stick to. Shades of Grey is pretty fun. And the newer one of that just came out. Not too long ago. My partner and a friend of ours are both big Jasper Fforde fans, so I am less so, but I liked what I've read. Last saw my stream when I was making the Netherite Beacon. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's been a long time since then. I mean, that was back in 1.16 Minecraft, so yeah, we're a few years on from that now. Survival Guide is in Season 3. And, yeah, I've been doing a whole lot of other business these days. I like David Eddings, but his characters get kind of samey after a while. I think I saw recently an Instagram video where somebody was interviewing Henry Cavill and talking about fantasy literature, and he was like, Raymond E. Feist, David Eddings. Or maybe David Gemmell, I forget. There's a lot of Davids. But he was giving some fun fantasy literature recommendations. If you want something that's kind of similar to Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but not nearly as large, then Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho is another good one. Dang it, he hadn't finished spawning in. Curse you, Okina! Foul tarnished! I command thee kneel! We're trading off in the ridiculous Ashes of War department, and I win, so... It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Alright, Melena's doing her thing. Hello, Torrent, please. Been 2 years since you last saw the stream. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I would have done 2 years ago. Probably Survival Guide Season 2. Maybe a bit of Stardew Valley here and there. Just made a screenshot of chat because it's easier. Fair play. Well, hopefully you came away with some good recommendations. I need to do a lot more reading. Like, I haven't done a whole lot of book reading these days. Here he is, back where he ought to be after appearing in Morgott's arena twice in the previous run. I was trying to get off the horse in the middle of him doing that. That's why I made absolutely no attempt to dodge. Okay, DPS is not bad. Let's heal up and take the physic while we're at it. Wasn't or am much of a bookworm, yeah. I used to read a lot more when I was younger. And it turns out I'm not very fire resistant these days. YA fantasy might be worth a shot as well. Yeah, that's also true. If you want to read something that's a little bit less challenging. Although there's obviously some... There's a mixture of stuff. I mean, a challenging read in the sense of, like, literary stuff. I tend to steer away from anything that's, like, too high concept. Fire resistance potion? Gosh, I wish. Although I guess there are some things in this that act similar to a fire resistance potion. Let's maybe equip a Flame Drake Talisman, and I think I'm willing to trade off Radagon's Saw Seal if it looks like that's what's getting me killed too easily. There we go. Yeah, he starts rolling away so he can get the fire going. And then he flamethrowers. Yeah, it's really funny how different that was to dodge in a flat arena. Because in this arena it really makes more sense to dodge sideways. But in the flat arena in Morgott's, it was really much better to dodge towards him as he was throwing the fireballs. should get phase 2 out of this. There we go. Not worrying about the cutscenes for Fire Giant. We've seen these before. Just got to be concerned about dodging this. And then dodging these, probably. And then we need to get close enough that he does a couple of ground pounds. And then aim for the wrists. And then the eye. And then he rolls over me, of course he does. Run away. Oh god, I'm dead. Oh, apparently not. Excuse me while I get on my horse. Ow. Okay, well. Mostly just wanted to get those away from following me. Ow. Come on, dude. Probably just gonna have to go in for the hit him in the legs approach here. Oh, that's not great. What happened there? Okay, he's doing the thing again. I wonder if the AoEs were going to work well around his legs during phase 2. Man, it's so quiet after you've... You die during that fight, during one of his loudest attacks, and then it seems so serene afterwards. We'll do a couple more attempts at this, and then if it's not working out for us, we'll go and meet Alexander on Mount Gelmir. That's what I wanted to do the first time around. This breaks the shackle. Or the splint, rather. Alright. Let's go after him for this. Nice. One for the ages. Ow. Let me back at him. Alright. That works. Now we run. He did this a second time in the last phase, and I'm like, I did not recall that he could do that, but of course he can. He's the fire giant. He does what he wants. Not again, dude. Come on. Ow. Yeah, there's no way I was surviving that. I couldn't heal, I couldn't roll. It's just difficult to tell what he's doing at that stage. You're up so close to him. Hey, what's up, Josh? Thank you, Fraz. Welcome in. So yeah, I think we'll maybe swap out Radagon's Saw Seal for something like this. Means we lose a couple of points in Vigor, Stamina, Dex, and Strength, I think. Basically all of the non-magic stats. But I'll take it for some extra stamina and potentially a little bit less damage taken. Especially against such a hard-hitting enemy. Although having said that, hard time targeting him now. We'll just get the rest of this damage out. Nice. In we go, get a quick hit. Right away. This is the loudest fight in the game, I swear. Okay, we're inside of him now, but what difference does it make? Okay, being on Torrent for that part definitely helps, huh? Tracking fireballs, so couldn't roll out of that one. Torrent, no, I'm sorry. Oh. Not my finest hour. Also haven't taken my physic flask, so that'll get us a little extra damage if we get in here. Yikes. Okay. We're getting there. Oh. Ah! Oh god, he rolled over me. Thank you, Torrent. This should get him. Stay close, stay close. Yeah! Okay, now don't die while he despawns. There we go. Oh! If I had died and I didn't get the remembrance before he... before I respawned, then that would have been annoying as all heck. But no, we made it. We got there. It was a tough fight, but it was a good fight. Yeah, he's very, very noisy. Possibly the noisiest boss you have to fight in the entire thing. But he's a giant. I mean, it's natural that he's going to be that loud. We're off to see the wizard, and by the wizard I mean Maliketh. Let's do Lord's Rune. I think I got that from fighting the Erdtree Avatar in the capital. That's one more tiny thing I did off camera because I was getting back to the Avenue Balcony Grace. To resume this, the Wizard of A remembrance of W. Axel Rick hewn into the Erdtree. So I'm on my second Dark Souls playthrough right now, casually. I played a tiny bit more of it last night. I haven't had a ton of time to play. But I was reading up on the wiki about the endings of the game once I beat it for the first time, and there were 2 endings. And to get the 2 endings, you basically have to do something really straightforward. It's like, you either do what's in the boss arena after you beat the final boss, or you just leave the boss arena without doing that. But the peripheral information on the wiki surrounding what each of the endings meant led me down a path where I'm now in an area, or rather, like, I've met a character who I'm like, how was anyone ever meant to work this out? Like, obviously they have.
Is in dire need of repair and death. Indiscriminate. Are you prepared to commit a cardinal sin? Very well, let my hand.
We are ready to commit. But yeah, like, I found Darkstalker Karth, and I was like, how is anybody meant to do this? Like, it seems like the kind of thing where, frankly, it would be something that you would do on, like, your 5th run when you're like, let me see how quickly I can do all of the bosses, and, like, can I theoretically beat the game without ever placing the Lord Vessel? Not something for a first-time playthrough, anyway. Whereas on a first-time playthrough of Elden Ring, you can absolutely get the Frenzied Flame ending. Which sort of feels like the equivalent, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anything in Elden Ring that feels that esoteric, and there's probably a couple of things, but I think most of Elden Ring you can get to through exploring and stuff. It may be that it's buried in item descriptions I didn't read or something, but yeah, Zloy got the Frenzy Flame on the first playthrough, but that was with me, and it was something that I could kind of steer us towards. I don't think I did much of that, though. I think he did genuinely find a lot of it just through natural gameplay.
Burn for the sake of the new Lord.
It's going to be interesting seeing if Maliketh is any easier after having fought him a few times in the
Thank you
Erdtree arena
for
on the
guiding me
randomizer.
here.
To be honest, the thing I'm more likely to be let down by is my muscle memory. Because I haven't been playing this game, like, constantly. Like, I played it a little bit over the past week since the last stream, but that was just leveling up. Elden Ring stuff to be missed, basically everything, yeah.
Of destined death.
Look at this shot, though. What a cool shot.
Goodbye.
Bye. Always wondered why Melna's hands are so scarred. It's because she's been burned before. And that sounds like a pithy remark, but is, I think, genuinely the case. Like, you are meant to understand that the world of Elden Ring is a somewhat cyclic one, and that death and rebirth is a cycle, and that the world's state is kind of a cycle. But she describes herself as burned and bodiless. And it feels like she has a body, because she can, like, lay her hands on you and imbue you with the strength provided by runes of the, like, the shards of the Elden Ring or whatever. But, like, she describes herself as burned and bodiless, but yet living. So yeah, man, who knows? It's all very, like, mystical. Gonna make sure I heal before this guy hits me. There we go. And for once, we get to rest at this grace without immediately being killed at it, which I'm fine with. Cycle you describe as common through most, if not all, of the Soulsborne games and pertains to the endings? Yeah. It's like one of those sort of cyclic short stories where, like, the main character becomes becomes the antagonist at the end, and, like, you know, a lot of video games do stuff like that with narrative. Some more explicitly than others, I'll give you that. But yeah, the other thing about the Darkstalker Karth stuff in Dark Souls 1 is that he actually explains to you what the Dark Soul is, and I'm like, oh! So that's actually a thing, then. Was actually not expecting him to say the thing, but he definitely says it. What up, beasties? The frame drops because of the amount of guys trying to cast lightning at me is very funny. And suddenly he was not there. What's this? Oh, yeah. Don't need any of the pickups really anymore, but I'll get some of them just in case. I was considering getting the Shard of Alexander for this weapon as well, but I don't think I'm using the Ash of War enough. Which is a shame, because it's one of the things that makes the weapon unique, but overall, this is my first, like, great axe, and I'm not hating it. I think it's pretty good. It's got a heck of a reach on it, which is nice. And the R1s are pretty solid now. Time for our usual hop down to see the Godskin Duo. That still looks like it should cause full damage. This game really plays Calvin Ball with its physics sometimes. Hello! Absolutely not. How very dare you, sir. Hup. We're away. In Dark Souls 2, the first time you die, the achievement's name is Welcome to Dark Souls. That's funny. Yeah, I need to play Dark Souls 2 after I'm done with my my next playthrough of DS1. I think. We're going to summon Banal for this because it's... Still no, I did it. It's a 2v2 fight that way. Let's see which one wants to come at me today. Apostle it is. And yeah, this axe really doesn't do the whole poise break thing, huh? Seriously, that whole time I was landing some pretty hefty feeling hits. Did not poise break him in the slightest. Oh, I thought I was going to walk up onto that and casually miss it, but... Banal's still got him on the ropes. Oh, finally. Yes, thank you. Apostle's back. Get him, Banal. Yeah, this weapon ain't worth it for the crit. Noble's going to be back in a second. About now, yep. Banal, tag in. Yes, thank you. Alright. One more big hit on Apostle, and we're good. Yeah, baby! One of the easier fights when you know about the Banal summon, I will admit. But I quite like that. Just gonna leave the other guy. Dog ahead. Hop down here. Completely ignore the guy throwing stuff at me. Need to get away from the edge just in case I leap off by mistake. There we go. And I'm going to go around the back and get the hero's rune because I deserve it. I am a hero. Whoop. I'll be going this way, thank you very much. I wonder if that guy coming out of that doorway is supposed to make you duck in this way and realize that this is the way down. Or if it's not that deep. How much control do they have over how the player reacts? Also, Godwyn is here. The body of Godwyn, or the Bodwyn, is currently here. Hero of the village, 5 rune, yeah. Pretty much. One sec. Can I check on something? Oh, cool, okay. That's good. Unfortunately, my axe is singularly unsuited to fight these enemies, aside from the fact that it has a bit of reach. The Ash of War is, like, entirely ground-based, so that's not super helpful. Against these flying enemies. Yeah, I thought so. I was trying to heal throughout that entire thing. Godwyn isn't under Lanedale. I mean, he's under the Erd Tree, but the pieces of him are everywhere. There's more to the point. Like, there are roots of him throughout the entire Lands Between, including bits of the Lands Between that have been completely removed, like Farum Azula. I never bothered taking the ladder down from this, which maybe I should, because that might get me the drop on these birds instead of them getting the drop on me. Okay, yeah, I'll admit, it's not too bad dealing with them with a weapon with this long of a reach. For once, I don't even care whether this dragon lives or dies, because I already had all of the smithing stones I needed for this weapon. Hello! Bye. Oh, thought it was leaving. I'll take that amount of runes, though. That's a nice amount of runes. I do have a shield. I refuse to use it on principle. Yeah, R1s with this thing, they don't do a whole lot of poise damage, but they do tend to stagger enemies just a little bit. So they're not going to do a stance break, but they are going to interrupt enemies. I suppose that's the the distinction, right? Alright. Just going to be over here to the right then. Nope, nope, nope. Get in the corner. Get in the corner. Alright. One day you'll have to use a shield as a weapon, I know. In before thrusting shields. For real though, I will probably start using shields long before that, but we'll see. We need about 14k. So I reckon one of these, and then we're making up the change. Oh, just over. We'll keep putting it into Vigor because we can still get decent Vigor before 60. 237 runes to lose to Maliketh. Draconic Tree Sentinel first, of course. Fight one of these guys as a boss in Limgrave, and now they're everywhere. Oh, yeah. You fight one of these as a boss on Altus as well. And while this guy is not everywhere, he is definitely here. Snap. We did the same move. Oh, ow. Forgot about that one. Nice. We've run out of lightning. Which means we press the advantage. Very good. Not going into Maliketh's arena like this, though. Also, if we wanted to look more gold in terms of the outfit I have, and I was willing to make myself a heavy load, I honestly think this matches the axe pretty well, but the axe doesn't have that level of shine to it. We're starting a new game each weapon? Yes, that's the idea. Part of the goal is to just experiment with different playstyles and use a different weapon each time without having like maxed out stats from the very beginning. And a lot of it is about seeing all of the different areas of the game. So we don't really go to the Halig tree all that much unless there's a weapon that we need from the Halig tree, or sorceries or whatever that we want from there. I'm not going to jinx myself by using my one remaining rune arc. I still haven't been back to the round table hold to buy some more of those, so I probably could do that, right? I'm not going to use them right now, but... Corrin is dead. Gideon is somehow still there. Oh, Nefeli is dead too. I forgot about that. Go. There's a talisman pouch here. I'm like, did I just not pick that up from Enya? That's probably the one I missed, right? I didn't come back to Round Table Hold after we did the second Great Rune. We just went to Altus. That makes sense. What else can I get in terms of talismans that are going to work for me here? Axe Talisman, Viridian, Flame Drake is just not going to be super necessary anymore. I don't want to use Radagon Sword Seal for this fight. Axe Talisman enhances charge attacks. This thing doesn't really do like pierce damage or anything that would merit the Spear Talisman. Like, what can I get, really? Like, the two-handed sword talisman in the DLC would be ideal, but I'm not going to the DLC with this weapon. Stuff like the winged sword insignia isn't going to make any sense either, because I'm not attacking fast enough. I mean, we could just get the Crimson Amber Medallion for more health, but that seems absurd. Erdtree's Favor, though. We can get that from Capital of Ash. And there's an Erdtree's Favor +1 out there somewhere, but I forget where. I don't want to do all of Fringe Folk Hero's Grave now. So we'll try doing Maliketh anyway. The other thing about fighting Maliketh that I hadn't considered is we also have to fight Beast Clergyman first. That's the change-up. We had to fight all Maliketh in one phase before. This time we have to fight both. Okay, that makes me heavy. That doesn't. And then putting on literally any helmet is going to make me heavy at that stage. At least we have a little bit more physical resistance. Why is there tornado here? Good question. Everything in this game is a spiral. Is the vague answer to that. Oh yeah, Erdtree's Favor +1 is after the Moog sewer fight. You're right.
Destined death.
Is that an Italian Cold Steel Cinquedilla? Imagine being hit by that attack. It couldn't be me. Okay, yeah, I just healed for literally no reason because he immediately took that entire chunk of health off me again. Okay, I thought I jumped that, but... Like the big shield on your back, can you hold one and have one on your back? Yes, but you'd still have to have the other one in your main hand. So, like, I could dual wield shields. Like this. But then the only thing I could attack with would be like this. So I will not be doing that. Imagine getting hit. Couldn't be me. In this game, whole point is to not get hit, right? Yeah, we're gonna die to Maliketh a few times, I think. Even with a little extra physical defense, it's not gonna matter that much. There's no way we get the Ash of War off on this phase. Not when he's this maneuverable. Oh, I forgot the rocks fall again. Oh, I wasn't looking up. See, that's what I thought I did last time, was like jump away as he was doing that. Maybe I jumped into the other attack? Difficult to say. Yeah, had no stamina left for a dodge there. Well, we got good spacing that time. Oh, yeah, no. Now he's got the entire arena, he can do things like leap off the pillars, which changes up his attack patterns from what I remember in Radagon's arena. Yep, okay, good. I at least remember how that one works. So that's good. Okay. Oh, ow. Just gonna heal this time. He does all his most anime attacks. Definitely loads better at this fight now, though. Thank you, Randomizer, for teaching me how to fight Maliketh. I learned a lot more about fighting Maliketh than I learned about fighting Beast Clergyman from the from the Randomizer, apparently. All right, that's a fight. That's a good fight. And just like that, here we are at the end of the game. Basically. Blaine de Lashen Capital. Did not expect this to be potentially a finale for Axe of Godrick. But then again, we do have the boss rush ahead of us, so should maybe not count my chickens. Should maybe prepare to go and get the Mimic tier if we need it for Radagon and Elden Beast. This is also 5.5 hours worth of gameplay time. So remind me how I get Erdtree's Favor +2, because I'm pretty sure it's over by the Fortified Manor, basically where the Round Table Hold clone area is. I'm pretty sure it's behind that gargoyle that's around there, right? Or is it from the gargoyle? I forget exactly how this part works. Because I didn't get there whilst this place was normal. But I think you can still climb the wing over here. You walk to Rold and you go back. Now, there's a way to get to it from here, though. Yeah, we can still climb this bit. It's a different place? Okay. If you say so, I'll believe you. So we go back into Erdtree Capital this way. Now that the place has been destroyed. That's Felt Twins. Yeah, I thought it was something to do with fortified mana when I read the description of it. I don't think I've ever seen this view either, coming back into Lanedale after the Erdtree burns. I don't think I've ever looked at it this way around. Really wish you could ride Torrent here. How's this guy on a horse and I'm not? This guy's still guarding the place even though the Erdtree is burned. The Rune of Death is unbound, all of that jazz. Hello, I'm back from mountaintops. That didn't work on me when it was Fire Giant. Why did you think you would be any different? It's a very out of the way place. Alright, give me directions. Big tree may be on fire, I still have a job to do, it's true. Working through the apocalypse, it's a thing. We've all done it. I only know Redstone, not mythic bosses. Redstone is a mythic boss for a lot of people. On the tree branch, be careful of 3 ulcerated spirits. You kidding me, dude? Hug the right wall. Okay. Oh, like down here? And it's on a tree branch, you say? How you doing down there, bud? When you say hug the right wall, do you mean coming this way, or do you mean going through this area? So we hug the right wall, we come down here. We're clearly not going through those doors. So we just keep going around. And it's on a tree branch. I don't think he's seen me. Oh, I see it over there, right. Not there. There. We did it. Torrent would be so good here. Are we too polite to the people trying to smite us not to dare ride the horse inside? It's more about where Torrent wants to go. In the age of the Erdtree began, such blessings were personally bestowed upon their recipients by Queen Marika himself. I don't know if I've ever got that talisman before. Genuinely not certain I've done it. Let's go fight Gideon! In fact, let's pop a rune arc before we fight Gideon, because I've got 7 of these. So we may as well. Imbued with the power of Godrick. Gideon won't have many of his extra attacks, because we've done none of the optional bosses. I don't think we even fought Gideon in the randomizer either, because Godfrey Phase 1 was in his arena, and I don't think we ever encountered Gideon anywhere else. Yeah, I don't have the Legendary Talismans achievement either. That's something I will probably do on a future playthrough. Go down the well, you can get big stamina medallion. I think I'm good, to be honest. We have the +1 Viridian. I think I'm okay with that. This is not the most optimized set of talismans ever. Well, he knew we'd come, so here we are.
Ah, I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle.
You seem to be struggling to cast a spell, my dude. Absolutely not. How dare you? Fired precisely 1 sword at me right there. Oh, God. I hate this spell. God. Ow. Yep, no flasks for you. What you gonna do, lads? Spam comets at me is what he's gonna do. Oh. Comets of various sizes. There we go.
In my bones.
Should have taken the time to look for golden seeds. I know. That's why everyone else only has 1 flask, is because they haven't gone golden seed hunting. They didn't choose the keepsake.
A man cannot kill.
Never mind the fact that we start with like 4 flasks. Oh, what do you know? Alright, time to go get flattened by Godfrey. First of all, though, I'm going to take a quick break. I need a bit of a break. So, I'll go and stretch, go to the bathroom, grab some refreshments. We'll be back in a few minutes' time. Okay, we are back. Hello. Look at this ridiculous man. Was not expecting the contrast between how red the hair is and how gold the armor is, but you know what? We're getting there. Chair and mattress stream? Yeah, I know. You just noticed the mattress? The mattress is all-consuming right now. I miss sleeping on it. We've had to sleep on the couch the last couple of nights because our air mattress has a puncture that I have had trouble fixing. Because it's along a seam and it's very difficult to get a seal on it, so we're probably going to end up having to get a new air mattress, but either way, they still aren't the most convenient or comfortable things ever. But yeah, we will, yes, and the face is very pale also. Yeah, we'll have our bedroom back in shape sometime this week, hopefully. Yeah, the bedroom is currently, it's just been replastered and the plaster is all drying. We had our wardrobe ripped out. We had wall-to-wall wardrobes in there. And so, having removed those and reinstalled a smaller wardrobe in one alcove, we have a bunch more space. But that removed some of the plasterwork from around the walls where the wardrobe was affixed, and as a result, we've had to replaster that room before we redecorate. Just to make sure it's in good condition, you know? Anyway, here's Godfrey. The second noisiest thing on this stream is Siraj, I think.
A long while, Morgott.
I really wish we got more understanding of what Siraj is.
Long and hard didst thou fight.
Like, I get it, he's like a
tarnished warrior,
restraining spirit for Godfrey's true essence,
by the
but
grace
like,
of gold.
How does that even happen, you know? Like, I get the sense that it's probably kind of similar to the whole Empyrean Shadow thing, but like, mechanically speaking,
close at hand.
Who is this? And like, obviously the beasts themselves were this kind of subservient race to the dragons back in the day, but like, there's just not enough information out there about that, you know? The whole beast region
Alas, I am returned.
Yeah, Godfrey does have some of the more detailed armor. I mean, he was the Elden Lord.
To be granted audience once more.
Once again, we are Axe versus Axe. Let's go, baby! Look at the lack of detail in my armor by comparison.
Upon my name as Godfrey.
Big Steppy is back.
The first Elden Lord.
Let's roll. Unfortunately, my strat so far seems to be just get smashed, so... Chad Godfrey lets me heal right in front of him, though, which is nice. This version of Godfrey is the polite one as well, so it does make sense for that. Alright, time for a steppy follow-up. Okay, now for this. Cool. Do we get Hoarah Loux? We do! I was not expecting it to deal that much damage, but... Yeah, not the good kind of getting smashed, yeah. Now, time to see if I can beat Hoarah first try. Probably not.
That will be all.
If I had to guess. And suddenly he becomes a Street Fighter character. Yay! The trick with Hoarah is to run more than you roll, I think. Genuinely couldn't remember if that was like a stomp at the end of that attack, or... Ow. I like the fact that it doesn't deal really any damage, it just knocks you away from him. Ouch. True combo. Hate it. Sweep the leg. Okay, he hit me with that one. Fair and square. Ouch. Literally steaming, too. Okay, we'll take one more heal. And that was a mistake. Dang it, dudes. So close. So close. I think we got it on the second try, maybe a third. Yeah, I think I just goofed some of the follow-ups and he didn't give me easy punish windows, or I didn't take advantage of the easy punish windows. Godfrey's a little bit easier the second time around, though, because he doesn't open with an unpredictable attack. He opens with that, which I simply failed to dodge because I was more concerned with getting my runes. And that I was not ready for. Makes sense. Curse of the Rune Arc. Let's go again. We'll use one more. At this point, Godrick's Great Rune is not doing a whole lot for us stats-wise. It's getting us well into the soft caps for all of these stats that I have higher levels in, and then it's giving me like useless amounts of faith, arcane, etc. Okay. Don't know what was going on there. I thought I had him cornered, and it was apparently the opposite. He fights better in the corner. He's also just going to blow up the spot that I died to make extra sure I'm dead. Let's try one without a rune arc this time. We'll probably do better. He's already dead, Godfrey. The slow walk this time. Axe throw? Axe throw? Feels like I'm at the wrong range for it, but nope, it's happening. Ow. Thought I was jumping away from that one. Turns out I was not. Alright, we're not going to get to Hoarah with this stagger, but we get a decent amount of extra damage. We'll take it. Where's my runes? They're over here somewhere. I can smell them. Okay, follow through I didn't expect. Okay. Alright, yep. Good. I hate that true combos. Just about managed to get shot at that one before it did any damage. Okay, I have no flask left. That was a mistake. Dang it, every time! I thought I was ready. Like, I think I've heard somebody else talk about this. There is a mechanic where if you do like a complete 180 turn, it doesn't let you roll immediately because you're already executing basically like a maneuver of some kind. So it actually buffers your input when you are in the middle of a turn and trying to roll. And so I was trying to roll out of that attack, but I turned like that and it didn't let me roll again immediately, and that was what meant he connected with that last attack. It's just something that I don't quite have the rhythm for. Thank you for redeeming colors that fit the Erd tree burning in the background. Well, at least now I don't need to worry about my runes because they are no longer there. And to be honest, like, the amount of runes I get from this fight will probably make up for how many I lost anyway. Besides which, like, I've got remembrances I can snap. Ouch. I thought we were going to get second phase there and I was going to get a break, but apparently not. There we go. Alright, well, we'll heal at the start of this, and then hopefully he'll give me a break at some point here that I can, yeah, get a second heal. Okay, good. Spend my time running away. Wait for him to do a move that I can counter. There we go. One thing's for sure, if we had the Mimic tier at this point, we would be absolutely crushing these fights. Oh, thank goodness my stamina recovered just enough for that. Okay, not bad, not bad. Wait for him to bust out of this one. That's the attack I was looking for. One more solid hit. Can heal through this. Easy, baby, easy.
Tarnished. strength befits a crown.
Yeah, not bad. Don't know how we're going to do against Radagon, but we'll see. A couple more points into health, maybe one into health, one into endurance, and then we'll spend as many runes as we can after that, because we've still got all of these remembrances. We're not going to use those. The axe itself is still pretty vanilla, you know? That we haven't done a great deal to modify it. Am I finding these fights easier the more weapons I do? Yes. Mainly just through repetition, I'm learning some of the attack patterns in these later boss fights, especially. All of the mandatory boss fights. I still think whenever we get to a point where I actually have to fight Malenia for something, I'm not going to have practiced Malenia at all, and I'm going to find that fight really difficult. Whenever we end up getting the Hand of Malenia, that's going to be an interesting day. For now, we have 1,000 runes to lose. We've got 4 rune arcs I can pop. I don't really have any, like, holy damage reduction anywhere. And I have a pretty low arcane stat, which is the stat that actually does anything to your damage reduction. I can put the Land of Reed's helm back on. In fact, I can put any of these helms on, and I'm now still a medium load. Does that mean I can... Oh. Now then. Now it feels like we are dressed for success. Oh my gosh. Okay, right. I need to go back to Round Table Hold real quick. We have this grace, so that's fine. I'm gonna go and buy some clothing from the corpse of any other finger reader. Because now we can get the Elden Lord crown. Or we can get Radagon's Redmane helm, which would probably be too heavy. But I sort of like the idea of having a headpiece. It's just whether or not the headpiece suits the character. I feel like Radagon's helm is going to be too heavy, but then again... This thing has a 6.8 weight. This thing is 7.5. Still a medium load. My hair got an upgrade. Like, without the helmet... With the helmet. Without the helmet. With the helmet. All his hair comes out the back. Okay, well I guess we're gonna go that way. Helmet of hairspray. Very much is. And yeah, let's see what we can do with this. I guess because we have Erdtree's Favor +2. That's giving me a huge increase to stamina and equip loads individually. This is giving me a max equip load. That gives me maximum stamina, which I think also affects equip load. And I have Godrick's Great Rune right now. I may have to take the helmet off once the Great Rune inevitably expires because I can't beat Radagon, but we'll see. It's giving Ganondorf from Hyrule Warriors vibes a little bit. That's the thing about Radagon, is I think everyone compares him to Ganondorf, and rightfully so. He's a big red-headed guy. Stamina doesn't give equip loads. I think the two are connected, though, aren't they? Or does, like, leveling your endurance is what it is, right? Now I have to remember the rhythm of this fight, which I haven't done for a while. He also has a big step. full uppercut that time. Ouch. Forgot that they explode. Gotta remember that now. Bring it. Also occurs to me that for the equip load, I could just remove the shield. I don't have to keep the shield on, considering I am not using it. Yeah, I needed to heal or dodge that, and I chose the wrong one. Why is he so aggressive? He's always aggressive. Yeah, now I'm a heavy load. Now I'm a medium load. We're not using the shield anyway. I like the helmet more than I like the shield, and the shield is not giving me anything. Is this boss's hammer a good weapon? I've never used it. We're not going to use it until we get into the M's in the A to Z that I'm doing, so... Dagger. I could feel it coming. I could feel it in my bones. Dang it. How did I not avoid any of that and yet somehow still live on like 1 HP? Hate that I kind of wasted a flask at the end there, but... Who needs health flasks for Elden Beast, right? Stagger coming up here. Or just the end of the fight. Alright, we're going into Elden Beast. We're popping a rune arc. I don't have any summons, but sure. Let's see if we can end it here. Which weapon do I think I'll end up doing a randomizer with next? I don't know. Me and Ollie still have to do our randomizer at some stage. We've not been like super urgent about that or anything. And I think we'll probably just pick whatever weapons at that stage. Because there's a few weapons in the B range that I'm actually really looking forward to using. Like the backhand blades from the DLC. Azura's glintstone staff is next, and I really don't want to do a randomizer run where I have to find a staff and sorceries, because the sorceries are all over the place in the base game when you randomize anything. I guess you do get a lot of opportunity to find sorceries, but they're not always the most useful ones, right? Like for Elden Beast, I would really want Shard Spiral, but then I might not be guaranteed to fight Elden Beast at any point. But yeah, I think probably a fun run. Maybe because I don't want to commit to doing like a series of streams like we did for the first randomizer with Ollie, because he probably just wants to play it once and have a lark around, you know? Whereas I feel like it's going to take 4 or 5 streams to complete a randomizer, especially if I have specific objectives for it, like what weapon to find and stuff. So I'm not going to commit too hard to anything on that one, especially considering how well the Axe of Godfrey randomizer went. I am honestly just looking forward to doing another one and having fun with it. Alright, time to fight Elden Beast. Back here, you. Yeah, I could tell he was going for that attack. No way, dude. I thought that's the attack we were getting, and instead he exploded. And now I have to sacrifice one of my health flasks to summon Torrent. The curse of the rune arc continues. Where are you? Okay, at least we get another one of these. I thought jumping off Torrent there was going to give me iframes. It did not. Reader, it did not. Oh god, we're at the edge of the arena already somehow. I hate dodging that one on Torrent. That's the worst. This one I'm also going to run around from because it's much easier to avoid this way. Oh, and I forgot that that was an attack too. I'm about to die. Oh, not dead yet, but very close. This is a big swing. Let's get a few big swings of our own in while we can. I really don't have a whole lot I can do to deal damage here. Or a whole lot to heal damage, rather. He's, like, trying to run away into the edge of the arena, and I think we might actually, if we get one more hit... We did it. I can't believe we did it. Oh, man. Yeah, his AI did not know what to do at the end there. So... Somehow, just like that, after 6 hours and 16 minutes, that's our fastest run yet. Axe of Godrick, guys. Who knew? Who knew it was gonna... And we just casually dismount Torrent at the end there. Who knew we were gonna get it, like, that close, like, that down to the wire, but also first try on Elden Beast? The Lord of all that is golden. Look at that. Literally choking. It feels like so underwhelming. He almost feels like he's got a hunch. He's like, oh, how mellow this guy's face is with that ridiculous helmet on, dude. Like, I genuinely think that's incredible. We're gonna smash the Elden Beast Remembrance just so I can get one more level in here. We are indeed the Lord of all that is golden. 60 vigor at the end there. but we got the last few levels of vigor just then. And the only choice we have is to mend the Elden Ring. What talismans have we been going for? Just anything that suits the build, really. Like, in this case, we went heavy into stuff that helped with endurance and equip load just for this armor set, I guess. Just kind of a last-minute change. But I wasn't super married to the armor that we started with, and I haven't gone around collecting a ton of stuff on this playthrough. This one's been so streamlined, like it was literally 6 hours. The fastest I've ever beaten Elden Ring. It's usually because I get distracted by other stuff, optional bosses, cool talismans, side areas, fun builds. But in this case, honestly, the axe was just legit. Like, it did the job. Smash R1 and it carries. Am I starting a new run today? No, we are going to be ending things here because I need to go and make some dinner. It's like 7:30 here. We might as well just end the stream here instead of starting the next one, because the next one is going to be the Azura's Glintstone Staff playthrough. So we're going to start Astrologer. There's no way we're going to, like, get to the weapon on the first stream.
The fallen leaves tell a story.
Because that involves getting into Ray Lucaria, right? Doing the rooftops. So,
of how a tarnished,
I mean, we could make a beeline for it,
Elden
maybe.
Lord. In our home, across the fog, the lands between.
So Elden Ring is a person. The Elden Ring is sort of like a cosmic force. It's sort of like how the Flash has the Speed Force.
Will look back upon us and recall an age of fracture.
I mean, I'll take it. W. Axelric ends in the Age of Fracture, but man, what an armor set, dude. The first time I've actually used any of the champion's equipment in my armor set either. that's sort of the way we ended up here. Well, friends, it's been 2 streams. That is honestly quite staggering. Like, I genuinely did not expect to get this playthrough done in 2 streams. We're going to do our usual roundup here so that you can see all of the equipment. We had the Axe Talisman and the Axe of Godrick, all upgraded to +10 from the last stream. We are level 143. These stats don't take into account the Rune Arc, but we had the Rune Arc. Oh, they do. They do take into account the Rune Arc. So yeah, we had the Rune Arc as a little extra bonus there. He just looks like such a humble dude. You know? Like, he doesn't look as massive as Radagon. It looks kind of silly, almost. But, yeah, either way, right there at the end. I think the Rune Arc actually won it for us, if you can believe that, because I think giving us 5 extra vigor might have taken our health over a threshold where we would have died in that fight otherwise. So, yeah. Even though, like, we survived Radagon on, like, a pixel of health that one time. That magic pixel probably saved us. Elden Ring any % speedrun? Absolutely not. I mean, this is my submission for an any % speedrun. Congratulations, this time would not make it onto any leaderboards. But 6 hours, 20 minutes, give or take. That is where the story of W. Axelric comes to an end. And on the next stream, whenever that happens to be, because we might have people around doing work on the house on Thursday, depends what time, really. We will be starting a new Elden Ring journey. We'll be working with the Azura's Glintstone Staff. I'm actually now at the point where, from RNG Stone all the way down to W. Axelric, I have 10 characters. And so if I try to start a new game now, it asks me to delete my profiles. Not going to do it. We have got 2 profiles that are on the Seamless Co-op situation, the Seamless Co-op install, because that was the one I did with Loux, and then the randomizer was also on the modded instance. But you can back them up using a character manager. So I've downloaded that as well. So all of my previous playthroughs are saved to that. And I'm going to save W. Axelric, and we're going to start again with a clean slate on the next stream as we wrap up the A category in the Elden Ring A to Z and move on to the Bs after we're done with that playthrough. Folks, thanks so much for joining me. I'm absolutely amazed that we got as far as we did. I'm going to find somebody to raid, and then we're going to wrap up this stream for tonight. I tell you what, let's go to something that is likely to be equally as harrowing. Bruno Danui is playing in Half-Hearted Hardcore again. And he is just starting up his stream. Bruno streams with a face cam now, if you haven't seen his streams for a while. I haven't raided him for a while, because I don't think our streams have overlapped at the right times. But Bruno's a handsome man, and worth your time, because he's one of those fantastic streamers who does one thing really, really well, and that is Half-Hearted Hardcore. I mean, he does a lot of other things very well, but he's a Half-Hearted Hardcore guy. Go say hi to Bruno for me. I will see you guys again on Thursday. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. And this weekend I may have other stuff that I'm doing, so stay tuned about stream announcements and whatnot. Catch you on Blue Sky these days. I'm using that a lot more than I am Twitter. So thanks for hanging out, folks. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.